Okay, boys and girls, we are back in the art class. Okay, as we talked about last week, let me see if you remember. What element of art are we on? Let me hear it. Yes, space. We are doing space, which is an element of art. And as we said on the last video, the illusion of space can be created by overlapping, size, placement on surface, detail, color and value, and linear perspective. If you don't remember exactly how those can be achieved, you can go back and refresh your memory by watching the last video, the video from last week, okay? But just to let you know, this week our assignment is a selfie. We will learn about selfies because some people think that it's a new thing, but it actually isn't. Okay, and then I will show you a slideshow with ideas for your selfie. How is your selfie different? Your selfie consists of you picking a famous painting, and next to it you're gonna have fun with it, and maybe with your family create a replica of this famous painting. But the trick is that you have to choose a painting that where the artist has thought about space, that they achieved space. So I don't want you to pick any famous painting where there's a plain background. No, I want you to make sure that the painter was successful at achieving the illusion of space. And that's why I'm going to show you a slideshow where you can get ideas. You can pick one of those, or you don't have to. You can search the internet and find another famous painting, okay? But it's just for you to get ideas. First, we're going to watch the video about selfies. There's some areas that are not age appropriate, so I'm going to be jumping on that selfie video. And then I will show you the slideshow for you to get ideas, okay? Here we go.
Realism, embrace.
Oh, hold on. Start here.
The selfie is the recipient of so much hate that I almost feel sorry for it. Often seen as the surest indicator of vanity or narcissism, the selfie persists nonetheless. We want to do it. We have to do it. But why? Maybe art history can tell us. People have been making photographic self-portraits since the dawn of photography. In fact, Robert Cornelius took this one and wrote on the back, "The first light picture ever taken, 1839. He was wrong, as it happens. There are earlier photographs, but I see his selfie act as one motivated by need. He was probably working alone in a room, and the desire to canonize himself as the earliest photographer during a time when there was a bit of a race to develop and profit from this exciting new technology. But as soon as there were cameras, people used them to take pictures of themselves. Photographers took self-portraits to demonstrate their skills and sell their services. Both amateur and professional photographers took selfies to get to know their new devices, to understand the optics at play, and to have the startling experience of capturing one's own image in a way that had never before been possible in all of human history. They did this with the aid of assistants, or alone as Cornelius was, quickly jumping in front of the camera, or with the aid of mirrors, of course, or by holding the camera at arm's length, say cheese, or with handheld shutter releases that made things quite a bit easier. Most of the great photographers took self-portraits. Alfred Stieglitz took this one in 1907, but didn't print it until 1930 when he gave it as a gift to his wife, Georgia O'Keeffe. His friend Edward Steichen took these two self-portraits in his studio around 1917. Photographers showed themselves doing what they do, taking pictures, developing pictures. One of Ilse Bing's best-known photographs is of herself, a brilliant mirror portrait capturing from multiple angles the moment the picture is taken. We don't know why Walker Evans took this self-portrait in his studio in 1927, but perhaps he was playing around, testing his shutter speed. And a couple years later, he took this series in a photo booth, decades before Andy Warhol did it. Luigi the Famous took more than 1,500 self-portraits.
Okay, so now we're going to jump to 5 minutes. Okay. Here we go.
The camera. Ai Weiwei took several self-portraits while living in New York in the 1980s, documenting his life and friends far before he discovered social media and used it as a massively effective tool for communication, overcoming censorship, and as testimony to his own mistreatment. And here's where the lines really start to blur between the photographic self-portraiture we've seen for over a century and the selfies of today. I've shown you only a brief sampling of the enormous history of photographic self-portraiture, and one heavily skewed toward artists working in America and Europe. The ease with which we can now take pictures of ourselves and share them has changed the game considerably. But in my mind, the basic motivations and potential for expression have stayed the same. I am not saying all selfies are art. Dear God, no. But I am saying that there's not really a difference in nature between a photographic self-portrait made by an artist and your run-of-the-mill selfie. Quality of the average technology many of us carry around in our pockets is astounding and has made a fairly democratic medium even more democratic. Whether you call a particular selfie art or not is up to you. Selfies function in many different ways. They affirm, they reveal, they conceal, they question, they subvert the male gaze, they bear witness. They put the control in the hands of the subject. You decide how and when and why. We can't know and will never know the exact motivations behind most selfies. But that's what images do. That's what they're for. They give us a glimpse. They show us a face, a certain person, and a place and time. And it's up to us to read them and decode them. What I'm trying to say is that a selfie has been art and can be art. There's great potential and resonance in this form of making, and I, for one, don't think we should be apologetic about it. Go forth and selfie. Just try to do it well.
Okay, so now I will show you the slideshow. So these are for you to get ideas on paintings, but you can see the replica either on the right or the left, and maybe this painting doesn't, but I want you to make sure that you're looking for vertical location, overlapping, size, placement of surface, detail, value and color, linear perspective. So here we go. Repeating. So as you can notice, the artist really created this illusion of space. So I want you to pick a painter that has successfully achieved this illusion, okay? If you don't remember how those are named, you can go back to the video as I told you, okay? If you could please upload those pictures. If you have fun, if you do it with your family, and you could please upload it, I would be more than happy to see those. Okay. I'm looking forward to that, to seeing your faces, and especially having fun with this project. I love you. I miss you, and hope to see you soon.